Welcome, and thank you for joining me for this annual Medicine Wheel general reading of the energy of 2024. So this applies to the entire year. You could break the different quarters into these different cards. So the first quarter could be the eastern direction, second quarter could be the southern direction, third quarter could be the western direction, and the fourth quarter could be the earth direction. So that is one way to approach this reading. But I'm not going to necessarily go into that while I'm doing the reading. And so this is a reading of the medicine wheel where we go through the 4 directions and the 4 elements. And we see the energy of the year. Now to start off with, we have number 13, the crow, as our direction of air. This is the eastern direction. This is the first underlying the idea of the year, the idea behind the year. And of course this would be the first quarter. And the crow, 13, to start off with, 13 is the number for completion. It is a sacred number in many traditions, but it also breaks down to 4, which is the number for reliability. So this has to do with the core of who you are, the foundation of your being. And crow medicine, or the crow, I'm so used to doing medicine cards, the crow represents universal law. It means the same thing in the medicine cards, by the way. And so here we have universal law, and there's 2 universal laws that I want to bring up here, and that is of frequency and what you focus on grows. And so these are the 2 things to be really mindful of this year. First off, frequency. This is a great year to do a frequencies check. It's right off the bat. Start setting the intention to be in a grateful attitude. You know, the frequency check, if you haven't heard me explain this in my oracle readings, is you do a stream of conscious writing in your journal. Just anything that comes into mind, just write it down. Then come back to it an hour or 2 later, perhaps the next day, and read what you wrote. If what you wrote is positive, uplifting, it reflects the life and the frequency, the attitude that you want to come to into life and what you want to receive back, then congratulations. You're one of us who genuinely are enthusiastic about life and just really excited to be here and existing on a higher frequency. Now, if it's negative, if it's not something that you like, if it's not something representative of the energy that you want to encounter in the world, then it's time to change your frequency. And the easiest way to do that is to get into a state of gratitude. And you can enter a state of gratitude simply by writing down all the things that you're grateful for and focusing on that. So you're using 2 universal principles here. Frequency, you're changing your frequency by getting into a state of gratitude, and what you focus on grows. And as you focus on gratitude, what you'll find is day by day you'll have more things to add to your list to be grateful for. And pretty soon you'll become such a habit, such a routine, that you will approach everything with a grateful attitude. And gratitude is your state of mind and your constant state of being, which brings a lot of happiness, peace, contentment with it. That's my hack for basically having a happy and peaceful life. So those are the 2 laws that I want to bring up with the crow medicine. Is your frequency. Frequency matters because the energy that you put out into the world is going to come back to you this year. It's going to come back tenfold. And so be in a positive, higher frequency this year, because the people who are going to be in a negative one are going to experience a very negative reality, and those of us who are in a positive one, we remain above the fray. Now, what you focus on grows as well. So what you focus on, don't be surprised that things grow prolifically this year. This is going to be a year of huge growth, whether it's financial, whether it's things that we don't like, such as war. Things like that are going to grow as you focus on them. So be careful and mindful of what you focus on. That's one of the reasons why I don't like watching the news. I'm very picky about what I watch and how often I watch it, because I know what I focus on grows. And I don't want to feed into negative fear-based energy. So I choose not to participate in anything that promotes negative fear-based energy, such as the news. So that is one approach that you can have to this year. So universal law is the underlying theme for this year. And for our southern direction, the direction of fire, the action that we need to take this year, I pulled the heart of the sky. Now, the heart of the sky breaks down to is 24, so that breaks down to 6, which is the number for relationships. So relationships are going to be our focus this year. That's where we're going to be doing all of our action, is it's going to involve our relationships. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean a romantic relationship with a partner, although that will play a role. But it could be relationships with family, friends, humanity in general, and the universe. And this is a big picture card. The heart of the sky is the heart of the Milky Way. And it is the place that when you look up at the sky and you see that, you feel connected to the cosmos and you feel the love, the heartbeat of the cosmos. Yes, you're a small, insignificant part playing a small role in this reality, but the heart of the sky reminds you that you are part of a bigger picture. In fact, you're a little tiny part of a very big picture. And so the action to take this year is to really focus your love of creation, your love of reality. Now, I know there are aspects of reality and aspects of creation. There's people that it's hard to love. But when you have that big picture point of view, that big picture perspective of the purpose behind life, the purpose for our evolution, our growth, the reason why we struggle, that there's a reason why we are measured against difficulty to help us grow on a soul level, then you really have an appreciation of the entire process of becoming, that is, being human. We are in the process of becoming something greater than just the souls that are having human experiences. When we stop reincarnation, we actually go on to something much bigger, in my opinion. And so this is just a stepping stone. It's just a school. It's a place that we are learning about creation. We're learning about reality. We're learning how to work with and create our reality here in this small place called Earth. And so this is a week to feel that love and that appreciation and that gratitude for creation, for the entire process of being here, of experiencing things, of having the human experience. So it's a beautiful card. Again, it's a bigger picture, bigger perspective card. And if you want to get a big perspective on the way I view the purpose of life, I have a book called The Purpose of Life, A Brief Scientific and Magical Approach for the Zodiacal Age of Aquarius. And I have the link in my description box of my video. So if you're looking for some reading material and you want to know a bigger picture perspective of why we are here, basically my personal philosophy, I do have a book that you can buy through Amazon. Now, for the western direction of water, which is manifestation. So this is what Spirit's up to this year. This is really where Spirit is taking us. This is what's going to manifest. Now, this won't necessarily manifest this year. It could manifest in 2025. But this is really where we're going, where things are leading. And I pulled number 45 this year and reversed. And 45 breaks down to 9, which is the number for endings, a conclusion. And so we have here an ending energy. Again, we had the 13, which was a completion energy. Now we have 9, which is a completion energy. And so this is going to be a year of endings. And the seer in reverse, this is basically, it's a challenge to get out of denial. A challenge to stop denying things. So if you've been overwhelmed, if you've been really not paying attention, you're in the state of denial of things in your reality, in your world. Perhaps you're not aware of the universal laws of frequency and what you focus on grows. This is a time to wake up to that. This is a wake-up call. The seer sees things and knows things intuitively. And so this is going to be a year where you're going to wake up. It's a huge awakening energy that's coming through in this card. So this is going to be another great year of awakening on a higher level, on a deeper level. Those of us who've already awakened and been walking the awakening path for quite some time will reach a new level of awakening, a new perception of reality, a deeper understanding of how reality works and our fellow human beings. And so that would be the third quarter of next year as well. And the result, the northern direction, the fourth quarter, this is the direction of Earth and the result is number 30, lightning. 30 breaks down to 3, which is the number for growth. And lightning is illumination. Now, lightning can be scary. It can be something that strikes and destroys if it is not going to be used in the proper way, if it's not directed properly. And so this could be a destructive energy coming through here. That's the result of everything that we've already been through. And the most important thing is it's going to be enlightening. It's going to be a moment where things are going to be seen very clearly, very obviously. This is going to be a moment of illumination. Now, this could be an idea that comes to us that gives us a new inspiration for a new path in our lives. It could be something as intense as a event that really makes things obvious, makes it clear that some portion of our reality is one way. It is a particular energy that we have to focus on and work with, whether we like it or not. So there's going to be this big moment of, oh man, what is this? And clarity this year. And that is going to be fourth quarter, the conclusion, the result of this year is we're going to collectively have an oh crap moment. This is reality. This is really how things are. Now, for the center of the medicine wheel, which is our consciousness, I pulled the symbol for iron and Mars. So this is the divine masculine. This is the symbol for action. This is the symbol for war as well. So this is going to be a very busy year, full of activity, full of a lot of events. It's going to be nonstop, breakneck, positive direction, energy. I don't feel that this is going to be negative. I know that war is going to play a role, but I don't think it's going to be that amplified when it comes to our individual lives. I think that it's going to be amplified on the world stage, obviously. But iron is a metal that is kind of insignificant in alchemy. It's brought up, but it's not one of the ones that's really talked about that often. Iron is something that the Iron Age was a particular age, but when we graduated to the Bronze Age, iron was pretty much fell into disuse. So this is something that is going to be not so popular, not so universal in nature that's going to come up. That's on our mind. But it is going to be an action-packed, non-stop year. Now for a rune, I pulled Fehu. And Fehu is the rune for cattle. And this represents money. So money and prosperity. It's a classic thing in agrarian cultures or agricultural cultures where cattle represents the wealth of an individual. And so seeing cattle here means that this is going to be a wealthy year. This is going to be a year where people will see their wealth increase, where things are going to get better. It may look as though it's dire. It may not look that fantastic to begin with, but eventually the prosperity is there. So prosperity can come in many different forms, and wealth can come in different forms. Abundance doesn't necessarily have to come in the form of money or objects, although this does represent a particular object that represents wealth. So this is going to be a good year when it comes to finances. It's going to be a good year when it comes to money in general and prosperity in general. So we're going to prosper this year. And for our mineral companion, I pulled this really fascinating piece. This is a Turritilla agate. It's a very large piece, and you can see the fossils in there. Those are small little shellfish that lived millions of years ago. So this is a fossil. And what this represents is the ability to heal old wounds of negativity and bring back wisdom from beyond. And so what that means is this year we're going to be healing old wounds. Old issues are going to come up this year, and we're going to heal them. We're going to solve them finally. The answers are actually going to appear this year. Things that have felt like they are ancient wounds are going to be healed, be buried. And there's going to be a fresh new start here. Turritella fossils are millions of years old, so these are ancient wounds that may have happened in past lives or throughout many lives. So to tie this all together, what we have is a lot of action this year. In the fourth quarter, we're going to have illumination. In the third quarter, we're going to have an awakening. In the second quarter, we have a deep love for humanity and creation. And the underlying and the initial start of the year is going to be focused on universal law, justice. What is justice for humanity? Is there one code? Is there just one thing? And the answer is yes, there are just a few universal laws. And the two that I again work with the most are what you focus on grows, and what you give, what frequency you are on, the energy you put out is what you receive. So this is going to be a very powerful year. I apologize for the cough. It's cold weather and it's windy outside, which always causes my allergies to kick up. It's going to be a very powerful year. It's going to be a very beneficial year, and it's going to be a very beautiful year. We do have a couple very interesting transits. Most of the planets will be going direct, the outer planets that were stalled this year, so that we kind of felt like this year was just a continuation of like 2020, 21, and 22. Next year represents a lot of new and fresh energy, which is already starting to come in this year. And we have the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, and that is a very fortuitous, very positive conjunction that's going to happen in April. Late March, early April, one or the other. That's going to be coming this year as well. And overall, this coming year, astrologically, having looked at the charts, is very positive. This is going to be a year that does change things, however. And so, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed looking to the year ahead with me. And I hope you have a wonderful 2024. Happy New Year. And bye for now.